Now, yesterday was Trooping the Colour to celebrate King Charles's birthday, another excellent royal spectacle. But a few things are a bit different this year than they've been in the past. Can you run us through those?
Well, I can, because it was a great day. I mean, anyone who's saying we're sort of sick and tired of pomp and pageantry should have watched the spectacle on the show yesterday, because it was a glorious day in London. This is the official monarch's birthday, but there were obviously a lot of changes. Of course, the late Queen no longer with us. It was King Charles's first official birthday parade. And I had to sort of note them down. There were so many. We had the King Charles on horseback. That was the first time a monarch had done that in more than 30 years. 1986, the last time we saw the Queen on a horse during the ceremony. But again, you talk about the changes of time and the very fact that we are in a new era. We saw the new epaulets. CR for Charles Rex. We saw the red arrows that you saw there and the fly past spelling out the letters CR as well. But look at Kate and Camilla. They were given new roles. Kate as Colonel of the Irish Guards, Camilla as Colonel of the Grenadier Guards. And again, we saw a lot of changes to do with the whole business of the marching and who was present as well. So pretty great spectacle, got off to a great start, and another first for King Charles.
Now, my favourite part of any royal event is the fly past while the family's on the balcony. Who was on the balcony this time, and did it send a message the way it usually does?
Well, again, I think we saw at the coronation that the King Charles is looking to sort of demonstrate this slimmed-down monarchy. We've heard that sort of language used for quite a while now, and it was just working royals again. Why is this? I think in the past we've seen an awful lot of people on the balcony, trying to spot a who's who. Do so many people need to be associated with the royals? Charles obviously thinks not. And so it was literally just the nucleus of the family, the people who are still those working royals, as you will. So, of course, no Harry and Meghan. Whether they were invited or not is another story. No Prince Andrew, of course, him having to step back from his royal duties. But it will obviously get smaller and smaller. The people you saw on the side, such as the Duke of Gloucester, the Duke of Kent, they will probably retire in the next few years. I mean, Duke of Kent is in his late 80s, and that slimmed down version is going to get an awful lot more slimmed down. So, Princess Anne said it a while ago, that how many more people can sort of leave the firm? Well, we're going to see it play out in the next few years, I imagine.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty reasonable observation. Now, look, in other news, a great report actually from you guys out of the Mirror this week about how Prince Louis may have missed out on a title if it were not for a change of a rule by the Queen. So what was the issue here, and how was the rule changed?
Well, this is sort of take you back, a mini history lesson. Back in 1917, King George V created letters patent, which meant that the grandchildren of a monarch were automatically HRHs. And we've seen this very recently with Harry and Meghan's children. They've just been given sort of titles of Prince and Princess. It was their birthright, if you will. But the very fact that the Queen lived for so long, when William and Kate were coming to have their children, they wouldn't have automatically been HRHs. So the Queen declared that when Prince George was born, that William and Kate's children would have those roles. Now, does this matter? Well, some people may say it doesn't matter at all. But I think the Queen wanted that continuity, and not only giving it to Prince George, but also to extending it to the rest of the Wales family. So, I think Louis and Charlotte are already great ambassadors for the family. We saw Louis on the balcony, those picture perfect frames of him enjoying himself always make the papers and go across the world. So I think in the future we'll be seeing a lot more of those on royal engagements, and why not, eh?
And lastly, before we go, King Charles has appointed Camilla, Queen Camilla, to the most ancient and most noble order of the Thistle. Now, this is quite the honour, isn't it?
Well, it is. I mean, again, this goes all the way back to King James VII, and you have to go right searching through the history books to look at this. There's only 16 knights that are within this sort of order of companionship. And again, there will be, I imagine, a small ceremony once we get up to the royals going up to Scotland. This is something, I think, of Camilla's elevated status. I mean, we saw her there taking a huge role in the coronation. A queen being crowned. She is now known as queen. This is what Buckingham Palace are saying. So, again, we're seeing a lot more of Camilla. And I think, what a PR masterclass she's played over the last 20 or so years. From being public enemy #1, we're seeing a queen in action, and someone who has been really taken into all of our hearts because of the work that she's done, with children's literacy, domestic violence, and the issues that really weren't spoken about in the royal fold. So I think fair play to Camilla.
Excellent as always. Russell Myers, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We'll catch you again soon.